Hello, everybody. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth, and tonight on a little quieter version of the show, as we had a crazy busy weekend for 3 different nights, and tonight it's a lot calmer out there. There is a small protest going on in Portland, there in front of that building. But there's just really not a whole lot. I think we also were getting some shots in here from Chicago as well. But there's just not a lot going on tonight. They've called for this No Kings rally this coming Saturday. I know they're talking about it here in my town. They're actually going to be getting together in Naples and rallying here. It's usually down here, it's usually really small. But they will get some people involved, and I'm hoping that there's a counter rally, because that sometimes is the case down here. We'll get a counter rally, and that's kind of cool. So we'll see if that happens. I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see. All right, let me get everything situated here so that I can see everything. There we go. All right. Wow, I got chat up. I'm sure you guys will be popping in here momentarily. All right, I'm going to go through. We're doing an abbreviated show tonight because I did come on a little early, and I'm going to be going off in about 45 minutes. I need to get some sleep tonight. There's nothing going on really, so I'm just going to come in. We're going to hit the news, and then we're going to go on from there. That's it. There's only one storm chaser out in the whole world, and that is Storm Runner Media. Storm Runner Media, and that's the one you see in the upper left corner up there. Beautiful shot of the sunset there, the like an opposite sunset. Really beautiful shot. This is him down here on the radar. He's sitting right in this county here, where 3,500 people are without power right now because of these storms that went through earlier. But anyway, he is stationary out here and giving us a great shot of that sunset. The only shots I have right now are the two you see, and they're just composite shots. They're switching around, so I know it's duplicated right now, but these are the only shots coming out of the towns as far as the protesting goes. Good evening, Ken. All right, waiting for everybody to come on in. All right, and in the small screens above me, you've got this one right here. This is shots all around Chicago, and this one over here, shots down near Times Square in New York. Just some different shots. There wasn't even enough live cams to fill all the holes tonight. This is rare, you know. Just so you guys know, I did 20 hours officially over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I completed 20 hours of live broadcasting. And as a result of that, my throat is in distress. I produced the morning drive show this morning, 6 to 9. Came home, tried to take a nap. That didn't go all that well, but I got a little bit of rest. And then I got back up again and went right back in and produced the evening drive show. 3 hours, and then I came home, and here I am. So tomorrow, same schedule again, except instead of resting in the middle, I got to go up and see Mom. So that being said, I'm not going to be on that long tonight. I'm very tired. You can see it in my face. I'm about to fall asleep in the chair. So we're going to go through the news. I'm gonna fulfill my commitment to you by being here and doing what I can. But beyond that, I'm done. I'm going to go to bed. Yeah, people are trickling in slowly because I came on 15 minutes early. A little more than 15 minutes early. I don't normally do that, but like I said, I'm doing it tonight because I'm getting out way early tonight. So I want to make sure that that I get a chance to get on here for a little while before I have to get back off again. All right, let's just run through what's going on out there. The tropics are quiet. There's nothing to report. There's no blobs. There's no nothing. We've got Tropical Storm Lorenzo out there. And as of advisory number 3 at 5 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, it was moving northwest at 12 and is expected to be a fish storm, loop out to sea, and never affect anyone. So that's it. This may be the end of hurricane season, and we're only on the L storm. I want to make note of that. We've had a very, very light season. This may be our last tropical storm. If it is, we will end the season on the L storm. That is usually never happens. Remember, some seasons we run all the way through. Now, granted, there's 4 or 5 letters that don't have enough names, and they don't use them, like Z and Y. But of the 30 or so names, I don't know, 25 names, I don't know, they'll cycle all the way through those and start using Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, and they've even gone through 4 or 5 of those. I remember one year in October, I think it was, we were dealing with Tropical Storm Echo or some weird name, and it was because we had run out of names. So that just shows you how we are definitely in a quiet period now, and which is a good thing, because Florida has been battered by storms, especially the West Coast. We had Ian, Category 5, direct hit here in my town. We still have poles all over town that lean. We're still dealing with buildings that still need to be torn down. Not too many left now, but still some. We're still dealing with permitting. We're still dealing with problems and insurance claims. It goes on down here. It goes on and on and on. And then we had the 2 after that, the following year, that flooded everything twice. Most people that got flooding during Ian ended up getting flooding 2 more times. It's been a crazy 3 years. So this quiet year this year is good. It's good. Now, those last 2 years were not as busy as they thought they were going to be. It just so happens we got hit by storms. We've had much busier seasons than we're having right now. Let me just put it that way. So anyway, that's the tropics. That's what's going on. Big hunk of nothing to do. Now, I did want to mention right now, because I am covering the tropical storm. I'm I'm covering the severe thunderstorm watch that just dropped here. This is the severe thunderstorm watch, and this is in. Well, look at that. It's in Maricopa County, in central Arizona, and Pinal County, and again in southeastern Arizona. And so there's a strong thunderstorm located over Apache Junction, moving north at 35 miles an hour. That's the only severe weather on the map right now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's it. That's the only severe weather on the map right now. That's why I'm monitoring. We do have our storm chaser up here, and he is up in the upper left corner up there. All right, so that we got that. And then down here, I wanted to show you guys the other thing we got going on. This guy's deploying more cameras up here. I doesn't have his on right now, but that's Vince from Weather Eye and .org, WXI.org, and he's been deploying these cameras. But the problem is, this storm has beat him. It's way up here now, so I think he's shutting down. He's probably gathering his stuff. But the nor'easter's sitting up here now, and I don't know. This turned out to be kind of somewhat of a nothing burger. I haven't heard of any big. Ignore that tornado. That's previously recorded. Watch a hell of a shot. Anytime he goes off the air, he plays this video, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, there's one on the ground." No, not so much. I'm gonna check again in just a minute to see what we got, but I want to finish telling you about this first, and then we'll get to that. Let me get my pin up here. All right, so we've got a low pressure system sitting right about there, and you can see everything kind of moving around in a circle like this, and then the further out stuff is kind of moving off. But you do have everything right around this. This is your low pressure. This onshore wind here in New Jersey is what they're worried about. That's what they're worried about, and they're saying there could be some coastal flooding, coastal erosion, but I haven't seen it really. This doesn't look like that severe of a storm system, And I don't know. I almost think that I think they overhyped this one. I don't see it. Let me see. Let me see what other maps I've got here. They just added a bunch of new maps. That's 24-hour precipitation, and again, not really all that much. A couple of inches, but there's really not enough there to that I don't see to cause a bunch of flooding or anything like that. This one doesn't have what I'm looking for though. I was looking for the wind overlay. I don't see it. They've changed everything, guys. You know how it is. They always do this to me. Alright, well, let's not worry about it. Let's do something else. Anyway, I was going to look at the wind and see what the wind looks like, but we'll do that over here. Alright, so here we go. Get this to where you can see it. There we go. Okay, and let me hit the button. Alright, so there you go. This is kind of what it looks like right now. And it is basically, you can see the low pressure sitting up there. Let me get my pin. See it right here? There's your low pressure sitting right off the Jersey Shore. And it's moving up in this direction right along the coast. 29.77 millibars. So that's your low pressure center right there. Then the winds are working their way around the bottom end of this little trough here. And you can see there is some pretty good winds there, but I don't know. I don't... Let's zoom in. Let me get my pin out of there. All right. Let's zoom in and see what we got here. Right along the coast, 14. But see, that's an offshore wind. Up here's where we're going to have the problem. And I don't really see it, but there could be. Notice all this wind funnels down, and it funnels down, and it comes around. And it creates a point right here where there's this onshore pressure right here, especially right along here. That's where you would probably, what is wrong with this thing? Why is it like weird? Let's try that. So anywhere you have an onshore wind, see, like, oh, what in the F? Anywhere that you have an onshore wind, you're going to have water being pushed up against the coast, like this here. This water here is being pushed up against the coast here, Atlantic City. Hold on, let me check. I heard somebody knock on the studio door. There's nobody here but me. I got the fence locked and everything's locked. All right, anyway. So anyway, all this coming in here, this is where you're going to get your tidal rise. You've got an onshore sustained wind of 19 miles an hour here. That's where you're going to, that's where it's going to happen. But I don't know what they're getting as far as rise. I have no idea. There's some more wind readings. So you got some pretty strong winds here. 31 right off the coast. Anywhere the winds are coming off the coast is not a problem. That's going to suck everything out. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could. There's probably a concern along this coastline tonight of some flooding coming in, because we do have a sustained 20-mile-an-hour wind coming in. That's more than 20 out here, and less than 20 is the moment you get on shore. It immediately comes down. All right. Anyway, that's what we got there. Let me get that turned off, and then I'm really not feeling well. I'm very tired, so excuse me if I'm not on my game tonight. Let's hit that. Let's turn that off and go back to here. Let's take off this and go back to reflectivity. And again, I just don't see. That's what it looks like on the radar. This was supposed to be kind of a big deal. They canceled the Chicago parade, but the truth is they didn't cancel it because of the weather. They canceled it because the liberal mayor there did not like the fact that Donald Trump had declared this Columbus Day once again, after the Democrats had removed the designation from the name and the holiday status. So, what else is going on? Oh, I'll tell you what else is going on. Our morning guy, Jason Big Mama Jones, he knows that I like Star Trek. And I worked with him this morning, and I'll work with him again tomorrow. So, he told me, he says, hey, says a friend of mine gave me a box of old Star Trek stuff that some other guy had left him, and I don't know anything about it. I just know it's a bunch of old Star Trek stuff. And he goes, I want somebody that would love it to have it. I'm the same way. If I've got something I don't want, I want to find somebody that would want that, because I want everything to be wanted. You know, I want to find a use for it. So anyway, so I said, yeah, bring it in. I'll take it. You know, I don't collect a lot of physical things about Star Trek, but up here on my bookshelf, way up there that you can't see above the camera, I've got about 10 of those little Hallmark ornament ships and stuff up there, along with a bunch of books and crystals and things. And so I do, as you guys know, I do have some Star Trek props. I like my props. I do have my Type 2 phaser here from the original series. And I also have a cheaper version of the communicator that here as well. So I do collect some things. I've got a couple of different comm badges up there, but they're old. I've got different things. So he brings this into me, and the first thing he shows me is this cool little bag right here. And I open it up, and it's got in brand new condition comm badge in there. And I'm like, wow, that's really nice. Wow, I just dropped it. Anyway, luckily that won't hurt it. The point is it is it's the actual real metal comm badge, and it has it's one of the official ones. It's got the Paramount logo on the back, and this is a really nice one, very thick, very nice. And so I was happy because I have one of these already, but it's not in great shape. The finish went bad on it, and this one is in perfect condition. So I stick it back in there, and then I polish it up real good. Okay, and then ironically enough, I don't have a whole lot from Next Generation, just a few things, but it came with the tricorder, which I thought was kind of neat. This is the Playmates version, or one of the toy versions of the Next Generation tricorder, if you will, not the medical tricorder. That one would have the bigger top, and it would have the piece that sticks in it. This was the standard science tricorder, the one they would take, all except for the medical staff, the one they would take on the away missions. And it lights up and does different things when you put batteries in it. So I may one day put batteries in it and see if it still works. I don't really care. I just think it looks cool. This is something you leave laying on the counter in your house, or on the, on your whatnot shelf, and people walk in and say, what the hell is that? And say, well, apparently you're not a Trekkie. But anyway, and you guys remember, is there any life forms? We'll ask Mr. Tricorder. Anyway, yes, that was one of the worst parts of that movie. All right. So there you go. I got a tricorder, and I got this wonderful comm badge in the little bag. So I was kind of like, that's really cool. But it ended up having a bunch of books in the bottom, like these magazines. And so I started looking up the magazines and what they were. These are all special collector's edition color magazines from everything. This one here is Voyager, everything you ever need to know about Voyager. This one is a special big picture collector edition for the next gen. I was so happy about this. I do have this one right here already in my collection. I have two of these now. But I already had this particular one in my collection this is the 25th anniversary of Star Trek. Just so you guys know, we had the 55th anniversary of Star Trek not that long ago. So that tells you how old this book is. This book's coming up on 30 years old. and I have two of them now. I've got, these are all special gold editions. I know you guys don't care, but I just think it's really neat. This is the TV Guide, Complete Guide to Star Trek. And notice it's before Enterprise came out. It only has the 4 captains on the front. And this one, these are like, I'm not even sure what these are, but they're like comic books. And what I thought was really cool about these, I'm a big fan of sci-fi movies. Not all of them, only certain ones. One of the old great sci-fi movies that I really, really, really love is not Star Trek. I love all the Star Trek. I love all of Star Wars, believe it or not. I'm not a big science fantasy guy, but I do like Star Wars. Really, the first and third movies, or the first and third ones that they showed in run order, which is actually episode 4 and 6. Those are my favorite too. Return of the Jedi and the original Star Wars. Those were my two favorites, but there's a bunch of good ones in there. And I also liked, of course, Battlestar Galactica, Space 1999. I never got into Who. But anyway, one movie that always gets forgotten because it came out back to almost the same time Star Trek and Star Wars. It was all coming out at the same time as those movies. And I think there was a few other Alien, and there was about 4 or 5 big sci-fi movies it was like monster sci-fi time in the 70s. And one of the movies that really never got its due, but I thought was a really good for the time sci-fi movie, The Black Hole. And you know what's cool about The Black Hole? It's a Disney flick. It's actually a fairly dark flick too, very dark flick. You can see the ship there, big huge ship. I can't remember the name of that ship. Anyway, the ship they fly there is called the USS Palomino, but then they find this big ship there that they were looking for, and anyway, here's some shots from it, but it's called The Black Hole, and it's got Ernest Borgnine in it. It's got the guy from the Bates House, whatever his name is, and anyway, I thought that was cool. And then there's also a couple of other ones in here. There's the DC Comics annual Star Trek. You know DC Comics? Do you know where the DC comes from? DC Fontana. Do you know who DC Fontana is? Dorothy Fontana, who was Gene Roddenberry's secretary during the making of Star Trek. She went on to create what we know today as DC Comics. Anyway, some really cool stuff here, and I'm so happy to be in possession of it. And then there's some bonus stuff at the bottom of the bag. Some characters out of their boxes, but still in really good shape. I got a bunch. There's Bones from when he was on Next Generation. Remember, he was shuffling down the hall as a really, really old man in the beginning of Encounter at Farpoint. And that's him from that. A bunch of stuff here. There's collector cards in here. So there's a lot of neat stuff in here that I haven't even gone through yet. And in here, there's Ilea, and there's Montgomery Scott, and there's the Captain Kirk. These are all this bag here. This is all from the first movie. This is all from the first movie. These are fairly rare. They're not going to be worth a lot because there's no box, but that's okay. They're very rare, and I'm glad to have them. And then finally, There's 6 of these still in the box. Now the boxes are in bad shape. They would still, I could sell these and get the money. I don't do that normally. I like to keep stuff. I'm more of a hoarder than a money freak, so I just keep a few things. Like something like this I'll probably keep. But anyway, this is Data. He comes with 3 or 4 different tools, including a phaser and a tricorder. But that's Lieutenant Commander Data. And I thought these are really cool. These are pretty old, and they do have the collector's individual stamp number on the front of each of them. And there is 6 of those. I've got Captain Kirk and Jean-Luc Picard. Hell, I got 2 Captain Kirks. Are they the same one? No, I got Kirk in gold and I got Kirk in the Monster Maroon. Look at that. There he is, Captain Kirk in the Monster Maroon. I have had enough of you. Anyway. And then I got, oh, look at that. I got Ben Sisko, commander of Deep Space Nine. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, I'm done. Sorry. I know I bored the shit out of you guys, didn't I? I'm sorry. I love Star Trek, and it's rare that I get neat stuff like that. So, anyway, hello, Carlotta. Welcome. Keltenberg, welcome. And Junior, come on in tonight. Thank you very much. And Brandon, I'm glad you guys have all come in. Felix, thank you for being here. And, of course, Ken and everybody else. Coco, thank you, everybody, for being here. And Rugops, live long and prosper, my friend. Exactly. But anyway, yeah, that's that. I now have a next generation tricorder. If I can get it working, I'll be able to detect life signs. If I find any, I'll let you know. All right. So that's all there is there for that. We will go ahead and do some of our regular stuff tonight. I am signing off way early tonight. And I mean that too. I'm not just like saying that. Now let me talk to you real quick about what's coming up this weekend, okay? The left is planning the No Kings rally, and the right, many different facets on the right, are putting together counter rallies and counter different things. And I'm just letting you guys know, the last No Kings rally was kind of I'm not going to say it was a complete nothing burger, but not a lot happened. It was pretty calm, pretty quiet. I don't know how this next one's going to go. They're much more organized this time. There's a lot of rich leftists, as I call them, rich white liberals, that have dumped a lot of money on this, and they're buying T-shirts and they're paying for bus transportation. They literally will have a bus pick up in all these major towns, and they'll all meet in one place, and do the rally or the march or the protest or the riot or whatever they're going to do. And that's what's going on, and there's a lot of planning and a lot of coordinating. We also have the laser attack. That's apparently planned again for this weekend. What that is hundreds of protesters supposedly have purchased and or were given these very high intensity green laser beams, and they are going to literally try to shoot the chopper out of the sky with laser beams. Now you're probably saying, hey, we don't have lasers that will shoot choppers out of the sky. No, that's why they aim them at the eyes of the pilot. Now I want you to think about this. The plan is to blind the pilot. Why would we blind a pilot that's flying a helicopter over the crowd? But that's what they're planning to do. Remember, it's the left. They don't put a lot of thought in the shit. They just impulsively do it, right? Canna Club, you don't have to make a very hard argument anymore, do you? I mean, it's pretty much pretty easy to see. Was I hit again in Discord? Oh my God. Are you sure? It says they're blocked. I think it caught them this time. I don't know. Yes, I was hit in Discord. These leftists, I got to tell you something. The moment you have a good argument, they either go on your Discord and mess it all up, or they go out and cut your tires on your car, or they shoot you in the neck and kill you on a campus. That's just what they do. They shoot up a church because they don't like the message. Ridiculous. So Victor, what happened was, Victor Coco, what happened was, and Victor, is this my Victor that's always in my shows? I don't mean to sound like an ass, but I need to figure this out. Because if so, no, see, yours is a brand new channel. I don't know. All right, well, I don't know. We have somebody named Coco, and we have somebody named Victor, and it's confusing to me. I'm sorry. And Victor is not in tonight, so I was just making sure you weren't my Victor. That's all. Now you can be my second Victor, of course. Dozens rescued, over 1,000 people displaced, and hunt for missing ongoing following monster storm in western Alaska. There you go. We'll check that out. And I got to tell you too, this whole thing on the East Coast, which you're looking at right now on the thing, really didn't materialize. I think we're getting maybe a foot or two of rise, and that's it. We're not seeing a lot of tidal rise up there, and a lot of the warnings and watches have been discontinued. And they put a bunch of cameras down there, but they didn't really capture much. Yeah, I haven't seen Victor in a few days. That's why Victor Coco started coming in, and I just wanted to ask, are you the same Victor? Because if so, we can verify that, and I'll put the wrench back on. But or just hang around for a few weeks, Victor, and let us get to know you, and I'll put the wrench on you. All right, so let's see what's going on here. When people text me during the show, sometimes it's because I'm screwing up or something's wrong. Wow. A friend of mine and I got in trouble for parking on the side of the road. They told us we couldn't park there, and they were being a real asshat about it. He just sent me pictures from the same place. There's like 10 cars parked on the side of the road. Why is it only a problem when I try to do something? You know what I mean? Anyway, let's see. Alaska typhoon. Yes, sir. Okay, so that is you, Victor. Okay? All right, I'll get that back on there. I was pretty sure that was you, but I just wanted to make sure because, Okay, what else do we got going on? All right, the No Kings rally this weekend. They're planning on this laser attack thing. They've got protests planned everywhere. They've got one in Naples, here in Fort Myers and Naples area. And they're going to be meeting there. And now I hear that this is a big conservative area here. We're about 75% conservative in this area. Something crazy number like that. And we're hearing that there's going to be a large counter protest possibly. So I don't know. Here's my coverage plan. Okay, I'm going to do a regular show Friday night, and I'll stay late if I need to. I have blotted out my entire Saturday, so I'm going to be here. Now, remember, Chicago's a couple hours past me, and Portland's 3 hours past me. So, and Chicago's 1 or 2 hours past me. So, what ends up happening is I have an extra hour or two in the morning because those cities are still in darkness or whatever. But I'm going to start watching the news early morning. And I'm going to be standing by here in the studio. And as soon as I start getting live feeds that I can show you guys, and news I can talk about, and activity that I can verify, I'm going to go live. And I'm going to stay live for 12 hours, and then I will restart a new stream and stay live into the wee hours until it's over with. Now, I am planning to try something here. It's hard enough to produce one channel. But here's what I'm going to try to do, because I can't talk for 15 or 16 hours. I have to have periods of talk and periods of rest where I'm working on stuff, I'm putting up new videos, and you guys are listening to scanner feeds, and you guys are going to be listening to natural sound and what's going on the scene. And I'll be going back and forth. And that's how I did that last weekend, and it worked out really well. But this weekend, I'm adding a twist. Tomorrow's too busy, but come Wednesday or Thursday, I'm moving my Linux machine that I have over there, and I'm moving it over here and putting it under the console over here. And I'm actually going to move some of my amateur radio stuff out. And I'm going to be resetting it up back up here on the shelf. And then over here, I'm going to put another monitor right here, or two, probably two. I'm gonna take the 7.2 from over here, and I'm gonna move it over there, because it's all the way on the other side of the room. I don't need to get to that. I don't ever need to get to the 7.2 computer very often. So I'm going to move the Linux machine over here, and the reason I'm going to do that is because that Linux machine is a supercomputer like this one. It can do things like composite 6 and 8 and 10 videos up at one time. It can do things all at once like this one does. So what I'm planning on doing is bringing that one over here and duplicating the audio, duplicating the camera and everything, and actually putting that one up with different towns and different scanners along the way, but you'll still be able to hear me on there as well. And I will host both shows. One will be on this channel and one will be on Starship After Dark. And they'll both be doing different towns with different scanners. And I don't know, I'm gonna try it. This will be the priority, of course, and then I'll have that running as a secondary operation. But looking back on last weekend, I think I could have maintained it. I had the time. I could have talked a little bit less, and I could have kept it on. So, Zappy, I monitor 2 meter call here in the shack, and when I'm driving, when I'm traveling on the road, I have I'm always monitoring 2 meter call. Yes, I love Linux. It's a love-hate because I don't know how to use it well. So I love it, but when I can't get it to work, I hate it. There's things like I can't get Radar Omega to work on it. The Linux version won't load and work, and I can't use the Windows version and whine because it won't work. And I don't know anything about Linux. I need Linux, somebody with Linux experience that can help me out with it. And of course that can all be done remotely, but I've got to figure out how to get this Linux machine to do all the things I need it to do. Well, hey Zappy, that's amazing. I appreciate that. And yes, Linux is a great operating system, far more stable. I can set that Linux machine up and start it broadcasting, and it will sit there for 30 days and broadcast scanner feeds, and it's making scanner feeds and all this, and it does it all, and it sits back there and runs, and it'll run indefinitely. These Windows machines, they have to be restarted every 1 to 5 days depending on what I'm doing on them. So yeah, I mean, Linux is something else. If there's anybody, like I said, if you want to help me out, send me an email. My email is my call sign. And just send me an email, and we'll get together on it, because maybe we can get together on the phone or something, and I can ask you a few questions, or maybe if you want to work, I don't. Here's the thing: I'm going to start working with you guys. I want to start getting people that want to help me manage this, or help me work on that, or help me fix this, or help me to get that. I need some help. I'm here all by myself now. This studio was built for 3 or 4 people. And they're all living in a different town right now because of the opportunities that we all have. And I can't go to that town because I'm here and I work here in this town. So so it just so works out right now that I'm here all by myself in this studio for the time being. And something else, I was who put that in there? I don't know. I can't. There's all kinds of pictures of dicks and everything else on my page. I need to just shut down that Discord. I need to just shut it down. If they're gonna keep doing this, it's not worth having it. I get so sick of fucking children that just can't leave shit alone. I can't ever find nothing on Discord. God damn it. And it says go to settings, overview. I go to settings, there is no overview. God damn it. Son of a bitch. I think I'm just going to sign off. I have to deal with this now. These people are ruining what we're trying to do here. I hate to delete it, but that's all I can figure out how to do. Why would they not just allow you to shut the thing off? Alright, there, I just made, you have to apply now to join it. At least that's one way I can shut it off. Damn it, this is terrible. It amazes me that none of the functions here are like it says. It just, why does it have to be so freaking complicated? Server settings and then overview. When I go to server settings, there is no overview. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna go, guys. This has ruined the whole night here. I'm done. Every time I put something up, these fucking leftists come in here and fuck it up for everybody. This happened last night at the end of the show. It's happening again tonight, and I'm sick of it. I'm gonna shut this off. I'm done with Discord. God damn it. You work so hard to build something, and these assholes sit in their mother's basement and just spam the piss out of good people that are trying to do good things. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Have a good night. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow, I don't know, 9 o'clock, whatever. I'll see you guys then. I'm done.